Hey y'all, welcome to episode 5 Under the Hood. Been a minute. Been busy. Today's lesson is safety, which is, I feel, extremely overlooked in fabrication and in the shops where you work, TV, internet. It's always just, you see some guy walk into Harbor Freight and grab a grinder and start going to town. And then you've seen those pictures where dudes have their face cut in half by a disc and wonder why that happens. Why that happens is because they're untrained. Want to give you guys that are starting out a good way to not get your face cut in half and just not get hurt at all, which is hard in this job. I'll just warn you right out, but there's a lot you can do. And I'm just gonna kind of go head to toe on what you should have for basically any kind of fabrication or any real trades. In my opinion, when it comes to welding, I'm always wearing a hat of some kind. There's tons of welding hats you can buy from the big companies. I don't care what you got. I wear a hoodie or a beanie or a hood or anything, because when you're welding, some of these BBs are going up on top of your head and they hurt. And any line of defense you've got is better than no line of defense. So always wear a hat. Next, your eyes. Your eyes are your number one thing in life, in my opinion. I'd rather lose an arm than an eye. And I've had several double digits pieces of metal taken out of my eyes in 15 years of doing this. About halfway through it, I started getting smart and always having these on. I used to wear prescription glasses, and the problem was I couldn't ever really put a good set over them that I felt I liked or was comfortable or anything. So when I got my LASIK, that was my number one priority, was protect my eyes. And $3 is a lot more cheap than a lot of eye surgeries and even just eye appointments. I mean, a lot of metal taken out of my eyes, and most of the time it's not metal that's getting you, it's actually these discs, which is not magnetic, and they can cause a headache. So yeah, avoid that. Cheap fix, eye protection, 100%. Number 2, everybody forgets about ear protection. I always have these two on me. I keep them in my pocket at all times. On my days off, I have ear protection in case somebody says, hey, I need you to do this. I grab my battery grinder out of the truck and I'm ready to go. I always have these items with me in my truck, just on my being almost at all times. Gloves. These are Miller's. They're lined MIG gloves. I prefer lined MIG gloves because most of the time where I'm working it's cold, so they give you just a little more comfort in the winter. And even if it's hot, I always wear lined because they have basically a glove inside a glove, and if you tap yourself with a disc or put your hand on hot metal or something, it gives you that split second more of an armor before you're getting burned or cut. And I have been burned or cut plenty in my career and wouldn't recommend it. I'm trying to save you some pain. So eyes, ears, gloves. Big. The Holy Trinity. Welding hood. Obviously, when you're welding, you want this on. I have a really bad habit of constantly welding without a hood on, because I'm always tacking, and I'm so quick nowadays that what I'll do is a trick, but don't do it, but do it. I will have the arc I'll have the gun in between me and the arc, and I'll use the tip to shoot a cone of shadow. So I will actually weld like this with no mask on. Bad habit, don't do it. But if you're gonna do it, that's a trick I use, is using the cone of the gun to give you a shadow from the arc. The problem is even once the arc's off and you're looking at the metal that's hot, that's still actually hitting you with a UV. Just wear your hood. It's not that hard. There's also those weld masks, which are really cool for tight spaces. I don't have one here. I have one, but they don't get used much. They're more if you're like under a car up inside an exhaust where you got really tight spaces. I'm a big Miller guy. Miller gloves, Miller hood, make really good stuff. Miller welders, you know me. Miller and Lincoln are like Ford and Chevy, and it's all personal preference. I like the look of their stuff. I like the style of everything they've got. So I would recommend, Miller, Lincoln, ESAB, Radnor. Moving forward, this is the biggest one that drives me nuts. Is nobody keeps their damn guard on their grinder in fabrication. I'm the only person I know that does this. And I have a million reasons for that. And it can just save you getting hit in the eye so many times because it's deflecting those sparks, everything that way, unless you get hit with a ricochet. But wherever this thing is pointed is not shooting them at you. So this is gone. They're shooting in 360, and you're just gonna get hit a lot more. The other thing I use this for is another point of contact. And you'll see in my scalloping and stuff that, how does he do that? Well, I'm using it as a third point of contact with my thumb. And if I'm making a cut, I can use that third point of contact between the blade, my pinky, and my thumb. Or I'll use this hand, and I'll have two hands, and I'm creating more contact by having that there. It's a little sketchy because your thumb's right where the blade is. Once again, gloves. But I just think that's one of the biggest mistakes I see. I see so many people on TV, flip-flops, shorts, no eye protection, no ear protection, no guard. And it's like you're counting down till you're getting really hurt. And if you're starting, you're gonna get hurt in your first years. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get burned. You're gonna get cut. But it's all about how you roll with it and what you learn from it, how quick you learn from it. I'm just trying to give you the lead here. Continuing down the line, hair up, always hair up if you've got long hair, guys or gals. Super important. You'll get it caught in a lathe, you'll get it caught in a grinder, a drill press. Don't do that. That's the end of you. I always wear, I'm pretty, it was another one of my bad habits. I'll wear hoodies or t-shirts. I'm always getting hit with rays on my arms. You really want to keep your arms covered when you're welding, all skin covered when you're welding. It is not good for your skin, it's not good for your eyes, it's not good, period. It's just not good. So long sleeve, I'm wearing like a, this company's in trouble recently with our side, but that's neither here or there. But any of the workwear brands, fire resistant is good. This is ripstop, but any of that kind of hard triple weave stuff is, once again, another split second. If you tap yourself, it'll just save you by just having even any kind of harder shell, of the pants, anything you can do to give you that split second of armor between you and a BB or a hot piece. If you pick up a hot piece of metal, if you do it barehanded, you're gonna have a bad day. You're gonna have a bad week. you get burnt, and you're gonna get burnt. The other one I'm gonna close with, everybody forgets, is your shoes. And I have habitually worn steel toes from day one, 15 years of fabbing. I've heard of people having steel and composite toes cutting their feet off. I don't see how that happens, but I would much rather have them than not have them. I'll lean projects on my foot and use that steel toe as a third hand so I can get my two hands out if I'm picking something up. Put it on my toe. You ain't doing that without steels. And if you have metatarsal guards, that's even better. Just the more armor you can have for this job, the better. But the key word, eyes, ears, gloves, at all times. You're gonna wanna keep your senses. You're gonna need them for this. So, see you next episode.